stay within a 10-mile radius of Todmorden. So it's Burnley, Halifax, Rochdale. You know, otherwise you spend too much time travelling. I mean, when you're younger, you need to do that, you know, but, you know, I don't need to do that anymore, so I don't like travel.
Now I know how to do this. Just get go, because you know we were told hardly a storm like this, people were just like barreling in, picking them out. I couldn't get out now, falling over. No, I do it myself. You know, leave it. We take a tarpaulin off. So the bit I'm working on, the storm doesn't get grassed in immediately. So pin out the tarpaulin, then take it down, let the storm out.
If I did this for a week, I'd pick things up quite quick. I'm not thinking like that. I sort of pick it up quite quickly. I can do brickwork and stuff like that. But I've never dealt with anything like this. Is hard on. More thought into it.
Long way round now. Or you can't have that like that. That way.
It's clemmy.
What's that you're going around?
It's a missile.
A missile.
These are the challenging ones. This actually can be a bit more difficult because there's that much involved.
Yeah,
She would have wanted to similar to me. We're really doing work like Peter. But if I was doing this, say in 3 weeks' time, then I'd have a better understanding now. I'll just put this back.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be perfect by no means, but there would be a wall at the end of it.
Here's a health to all farriers, the prince of all fellows, and stand by the anvil while the land blows but bellows. Twanky-dillo, they rise and they fall. So here's to the little goat and the great goat and all. Gentleman's horse, it comes to be shod, so neat and so trim, in the stall he will stand. Twanky-dillo, they rise and they fall. So here's to the little goat and the great goat and all. When the horse is shod and fit for to ride, is a pot or two more, if another nail you'll drive. Twanky-dillo, they rise and they fall. So here's to the little goat and the great goat and all. health to the pretty girl who kindles the fire, for in her own breast that ne'er will expire. Twanky dillo, they rise and they fall. So here's to the little goat and the great goat and all. That no water will quench, no water at all. 'Tis a health to old coal and young cold of all. Twanky dillo, they rise and they fall. So here's to the little goat and the great goat and all.
As a professional craftsman, because people come in here and they say, oh, this is what you're doing at A level, isn't it? Or they come in and they say, oh, yes, I'd like to do this. Can you tell me what to do? And it's just like, well, you want me to give you free advice on how to do something? And a lot of the time, I'm happy to give people advice on how to clean their mother's gravestone. Yeah. Or if somebody's building their own home and they just want a bit of advice on something they're doing, or to know that they're doing it properly, then I'm more than happy, because they're taking the initiative to build their own home and they just want some professional advice, and I'm more than happy to do that, because that's their project, that's something they're doing for themselves, which is incredibly worthwhile.
It was under an oak tree where we sat ourselves down. At times we felt wild and free. There were no regrets, and as you have guessed, she was the content of my dream, of my dream. She was the content of my dream. Then she picks up her pace.
I'm looking for fossils because it excites me, and if I find something interesting, if I don't want to keep it, then I keep it and give it to the children that visit here, because it's just capturing their imagination with just something interesting, and hopefully if I capture their imagination, then you never know what it might bring for them as they grow up.
So the stonecutter boy worked on, learned the craft of his trade. The wealth that he sought could not be bought. It was in the presence of a young maid, a young maid. It was in the presence of a young maid.
I just spray some
smoke there. Okay, things check this off. Now, pop this on, and then I'm just checking to see if the queen's on here. And I'll see her. And then I will. So these ones will fly back in. And if by any chance the colony is queenless, then there's a deeper roar. You can tell that all is not well. But no, this one sounds okay. This is just a space. They're now all around here, beginning to fill their honey stomachs in anticipation of having to leave. Because the queen is laying, but she will be reducing now. So these are sealed cells. So here's the bee just about to emerge. You see the proboscis is coming out. Out she comes. She's now head out, almost to the brim. So, and there's a mesh top there. So what happens is, we've now got a vacuum. So a few drops came out. The vacuum is there. So now these will go up and they can suck the sugar syrup through the mesh. Whereas in the other colonies we've got that formal frame, and this one here, all that we have is bars with this. So these, talking to the bee space, these are about the same distance apart as the other. And what happens is the bees will then have coated this with wax, and the operational part is from here in, and what we hope will happen is that the bees will pull down the wax and then they will make their stores. So you can see that they've pulled down the wax on these individuals, so they're starting to do that. Starting to make some stores. Now that there is, so they're storing pollen in here, but as yet I don't see. I don't see any honey there. Oh, there's some sealed honey here, and there's some sealed honey here. So they are beginning to build up their winter stores. And further in, the other end is here. Somewhere in here will be where the queen will be laying. Oh shoot! Sorry, didn't want to do that. Okay, I don't want to go any further. Sorry, ladies. I broke that, so and they begin to. I think there's probably this one here hasn't been. I see. It hasn't been developed smoothly down. It's been come round in a wave and then round in another wave. Okay. But that's that's the idea of this. We then take off one of these, slice it off, and then a lot of people then will eat it wax and all. It's quite a delicacy.
So Clerkenwell was the original place. Not sure on the dates, but for bookbinding and writing and print as well. So yeah.
I think originally it was because it was like the area for printmaking and even like a lot of crafts, like watchmaking. It was definitely the area to come to, but I guess we're talking about 19th century.
Yeah.
That's where the Times used to be based as well. So yeah, it's got that history to it.
Yeah, because as you said, there's a museum across the road, but it's just dedicated to writing.
I think it's where the first magazine was ever printed.
At my university, they were very big on portfolios and showing your work in different ways. And my whole first year of university was actually based on a book. They were just told, make a book. And that was so vague that people made all kinds of things. Someone made, the kids' tunnels you get, the pop-up ones. Someone made one of them and basically put pictures and writing on the inside. So like a book, it had a beginning, middle and end. That was the idea. Part of me was a bit like, I don't really like that. It's a bit too arty for me.
It was more expensive.
A bit too fine art. But yeah, it was alright. I just stitched a book together and did it normally, and then I guess that was where I started. And then came out of university. I didn't want to go into photography as a career, because everyone I'd spoken to who had it as a career said they didn't enjoy it as much as they would do. So, and I just did something I knew in bookbinding, really. I knew print pretty well. I knew about different InDesign files, stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it was money. There's little like things you can do. There's actually a machine that is like a big wooden rack, which you tie the tabs to, and it keeps the tabs taut. It means you can stitch in and out. It keeps everything tight. But I guess you could make one quite easily. But just this way, it does a very similar thing. And once it's glued, mould, and then glued again, it's pretty solid.